So, very hearty welcome to all the member of audience, all the delegates. And let me introduce the topic first of all to begin with. So the panel discussion topic is the evolution of education globally, the 21st century competencies and the future readiness. And the panelist over here, we have Professor Goy Bok Min. I'm not very sure I'm pronouncing it correctly or not. He's Vice President, Universiti Tunku Abdul Rahman, Selangor, Malaysia. I welcome you, sir. Followed by him, that is Professor Dr. Amer Hamzah Jantan, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Research, Innovation and Commercialization, City University, Malaysia. Welcome you, sir. Then we have Professor T.S. Dr. Murali Raman, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Academic Development and Strategy, Asia Pacific University of Technology and Innovation, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Welcome you, sir. And we have Alyanna or Tobias, is it correctly pronounced? I wish it must be closest possible. She is Instructional Designer, Courseware Development Group, STI Education Service Group, Calabarzon, Philippines. I welcome you, ma'am. So the panel is all here set to explore that how the educational paradigm is evolving to equip the students with the essential competencies which is required for the success in rapidly changing 21st century landscape. And this topic becomes very relevant because this era which we are witnessing, it is marked by the technological advancements, globalization and shifting workforce demand. And really we are here in a process of, say, introspecting and trying to understand whether the traditional education models are still remain relevant, or perhaps they need to be reviewed, re-examined to ensure that students are not only equipped with the subject-specific knowledge, but also they have a critical skills, ability, and resilience, which are very much needed and in demand to navigate an unpredictable future. So the panel is expected to discuss the strategies, innovations, and the challenges which are associated with the cultivating future-ready individuals on a global scale. So to begin with, I will be just starting with some opening remark, and there will be some Q&A. I would like to have it in a way of a discussion, the way in which the panel shall deliberate upon. So my understanding is this, that the labor workforce, it puts a lot of demand on the education institutions. And they both need to exist in a wonderful, the dynamic, there has to be an equilibrium. The skill sets which are demanded by the labor force, the education institution's credibility lies in that, well, we are producing the graduates which are complementing or meeting those requirements. Otherwise, there will be a big mismatch between the expectations and what we are producing. And moreover, when the kind of technological advancements are basically underway, are we really matching up with the expectations of industry? And at the same time, do we have in-house resources which are capable enough to imbibe these kind of skill sets in our students? So these are some important things. And let me tell you, the credibility of any education institutions these days which are into higher education, it all depends on kind of, say, the graduates they are producing. And even it's very important function of economic growth of any country. So if the youth, they are well educated, perhaps their contribution in the economic development is going to be very, very far and very, very substantial. Now, there is another aspect to this thing apart from the skill, the kind of a globalization which we are witnessing. So we really want people who are skilled, but at the same time, because they are not going to stay at one, say, specific point in the geography. They are very mobile. So they have to be very, very sensitive to the, say, the cultural issues which are associated at different job market. So even we have to sensitize our students, our budding workforce, to these aspects also, so that they should be very sustainable also, and they shall also be very, very successful. So these are the broad thoughts and basic premise of this panel discussion. So I thought to begin with this, I must do some premise setting. And from here, let's move ahead, and I will be putting some queries here and there, and perhaps that will give us enough fodder to take this panel discussion very forward. So to begin with, there is one question. I hope Professor Murali Raman, sorry, you can answer on this. That see, the World Economic Forum, he has been very regularly revisiting and identifying top 10 skills. So they keep coming with this. So which are the top, say, three skills I would say that your higher education institution has built in the curriculum?
Thanks, Prof. I think very apt question in relation to the topic. What are the skill sets for the future? So if you look at World Economic Forum in terms of the top 10 skills, and they started way back in 2018, then it was 2020, 2022, 2022, 2023, and now all the way to 2025. From the top 10 skills, you could broadly divide them into three categories. One is obviously in light of digital transformation and the whole digital movement, if I may use the word movement, both within civil society and also academic institutions, and also institutions in general. So we find that technology use and application is one domain that is still there. And if you break down that cluster into perhaps two more sub-clusters within that use and applications of technology, number one, increasing rapidly is all we know, as all of us know, probably aware, is artificial intelligence is number one. So for us at the university, I think AI is being embedded in every aspect of the curriculum. In fact, recently we organized how to actually use generative AI for teaching and learning and research purposes, where we worked with industry, and in fact, a surgeon from Singapore who was invited, and he does AI as part of teaching and learning for the medical sciences. So we invited him. So AI is one cluster within use and applications of technology. The second cluster is in terms of critical thinking. So again, here you look at from a softer side, how do we problem solve? So in that context, things like design thinking, creativity, innovative thinking. So this would be the second cluster, and that also we have embedded into our curriculum as part of the DNA through something called as the DNA enterprise architecture within the curriculum. So every student needs to go through the enterprise architecture or the thought philosophy of how do you actually become more creative in actually problem solving. So that's one cluster that we try and map back to the World Economic Forum. The third cluster is well-being. So even WEF talks about not only technology in terms of use and application, not only the importance of critical thinking, but resiliency. So the word resiliency resonates itself with the idea of, are we producing graduates that are able to have a very stable lifestyle, a very mature lifestyle? Can they actually integrate work and life seamlessly? Are they able to sustain shocks in life? Can they bounce back from setbacks? Are they ready to embrace failure and so on? So for that, we embed into the curriculum things like mental well-being, emotional state, and human values in education, which one thing personally I find that's very lacking in society today is the whole aspect of, are we actually living well as human beings? And are we giving back to humanity? And in the context of education is, what's our role of inspiring the younger minds and hearts out there to say, look, I may have succeeded in terms of graduating in my core domain or core competency, but what's my purpose in terms of giving back to community and society? Yep, I think I'll probably end there to give others a chance to speak. Thanks, Prof.
Thank you. So we have joined by Engineer Mohammed Mahnashi, and he's SEU President, Advisor for the Digital Transformation and Data Management at Saudi Electronics University, Saudi Arabia. We welcome you, sir. So moving from here, My next question is to Professor Goibok Min, and it goes like this, that since you belong to an education institution, so how the skills, you are developing the skills in our in-house resources, the faculty members, skilling, reskilling, and how you are delivering it, how you are ensuring it, and at the same time, are there any challenges in reskilling the existing workforce? Because reskilling faculty members is one of the toughest thing. I understand, right?
Thank you, Prof. Anurag. Yes, always is a challenge. Because just now, Prof. Murali highlighted how to train our future generations. Yeah, we talk about the IR 4.0. We know what are the demand from the industry, how to make sure the knowledge, the technology we cover in our syllabus. Always make sure our graduates meet the industry needs. But at the faculty level, we know we handle with all our faculty members. Okay, so when we say the thing evolving very fast, including the syllabus, the contents, also need to be updated regularly. Unlike in the old day, we always can say that when we prepare the notes, the syllabus, the textbook, we can use that one to recycle, repeat every year for the coming 20 years. The same slide, the same exam questions. But now, no way, okay? Because what we are learning now, very fast, okay? Will be the new technology coming out. So that's why we always need to make sure all our staff, our faculty member are in line, have this so-called growth mindset, because everything changing very fast. So I think the first thing, very important thing is we have really to put at university level R&D, the research and innovations. So I can share some experience where I'm coming from. I'm from University Tunku Raman, Utah. We are a private university. Of course, we are not for profit. We're running many programs, not only undergraduate but postgraduate. Now we have around 140 programs. When it comes to academic staff, we have around 1,400, and then close to 60% with the PhD holder. We put very clear, one of the KPI is R&D. When I say R&D, meaning you need to have the research fund, you need to know what is the problem you want to solve, the research proposal, publications, postgraduate supervisions. So I believe with the R&D component, the culture, then the faculty member will keep on learning, know what is the latest technology. Because why? Because only when we involve in R&D, we know what is the trend, what is in the near future, what is the technology, not based on the textbook. But when it comes to textbook, actually it's 5 or 10 years behind, which is very fundamental. Yeah. So we always believe this fundamental one will cover in the year 1, year 2. Right? When it comes to the 3rd and 4th year, we have to cover the latest advanced technology, like Prof. Murali mentions, is AI. Okay, especially since last November, we talk about ChatGPT. Alright, so that's why we are lucky, because we have quite a number of researchers working in AI. Whenever there is a new technology come out, we have the expert in our university. We straight away ask the researcher, now this is your show. Come to share with us what is your research, what is the latest technology. It's very volunteer and start to have the sharing. Talk about the ChatGPT, what we can do. Okay, we have the internal forums, almost bi-weekly, right? To pass this message to all our colleagues, to share the knowledge. We get the first-hand information from our own colleagues. Like during the pandemic, when we have because of the social distancing, we need to go to the OTL. And once again, we have the researchers, okay, working in the online learning platform. And straight away, they can share with us how to become a good YouTuber, right? Start to provide the training and material. All right? So I think this is very important. One, we believe we have this R&D culture at university level. Right? So we are very prepared, right, to face the future and show a role model, right, the lifelong learning model to our student. Student can learn from the professor, keep on learning. So this is the KPI and R&D. And the second one is we put the KPI is a consultancy project. Alright, so we want all our faculty member need to have secured at least one consultancy project every year. So force them. Okay. So with this one, they start to make sure whatever they do in R&D has some driven by the industry. So that they take the initiative to work with the industry player. So that's why they are very know in their research, in their subject program they are teaching, how they're relevant to the industry needs. So again, this one we ensure what we are cover in our syllabus is really linked to the industry. And this has been proven in our record for even during the COVID-19 pandemic. Our employability rates for our students always more than 95%. So with that one, so we can say when we build this style culture, the academic staff will automatically to acquire this knowledge. So we don't need to worry about keep on say I train you, go to this workshop. So we not believe by sending one staff to one of the workshops, it can acquire all the skill. It can change overnight their behavior in attending one or two training. But it's the day-to-day operation at university and share the knowledge among the colleagues. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So this has been good kind of, I would say, commentary about how you are bringing the upskilling and the reskilling at your place. So consultancy project and the R&D culture becoming a part of a KPI. So definitely, I mean, nothing has been left to chance. You have to do it, right? Very nice. So we have another panelist, Alyanna Tobias. She's from Philippines. And I would like to repeat the same question to her because there are two different countries involved. So how your country and the majority of the universities or the higher education institutions, they are incorporating these changes. So skilling of faculty members as well as the upskilling. And any challenges you see in terms of adoption of these new things, please.
Yeah, so unlike Professor, our university don't have a research and development group. So what we do to upskill our students is to partner with industry. So we have Huawei, we have Google, Amazon. So we really partner with them to offer micro-credential learnings. So these micro-credential certificates, our students take them, and then it's like this. AI right now is very popular, right? So if my first year student will take AI certificate, by the time that they graduate, maybe it's not that popular anymore. So there's really a gap between what they are learning now and the time that they will become a professional, the time that they will graduate from the university. The technology is rapidly changing. It's really hard to keep up. And some colleges, some universities in the Philippines don't have that resource to upskill the teachers or to have a R&D department to do the research. So what we really do is to partner with industries, and then these industries will tell us, these are the kind of graduates that we want to have. And these are the skills that we want you to impart in your students. I remember yesterday during the panel discussion with the AI, somebody said that you may think that it's very easy to learn now with the use of AI because you will just type a question and the AI will produce an essay for you, a poem or an art, right? Even a photograph, which is very popular now, can be AI. So you don't teach your students AI, but you teach the skills that is connected with the AI. For example, AI teaching an art. So why would you teach art? Why would you teach literature if you have AI? That's not what you teach the students. You teach the students the attention to details. You teach the students the things that are incorporated with it. So that's what you do. And for me, soft skill is harder to impart than the technology, the skills, right? very easy to learn something. You watch a YouTube video, you take an online course about it. But the soft skill is hard. You don't just teach your student, okay, you be a communicator, you be critical thinker. It's hard to teach that. But if we impart the soft skills in our curriculum, if we impart them the love for learning as early as their first year in university, whatever technology will come up in the future, I'm sure the students will be able to overcome them because of the soft skills that you have imparted them. So,
Wonderful. Thank you. So I think the major thrust which you have spoken, that is the very cohesive industry connect your university has come up with. Wonderful. On a lighter side, I would like to ask, this AI adoption that has happened first from the student side or from the faculty side?
actually, it started from the students.
Yeah.
Yes, it
So
started.
I would like to hear the same thing from Professor Goibokman. So what was your experience, the early adoption, the first time, who informed you about the chat GPT or a generative AI? You saw students using it? Even the member of audience can reflect. Before you say, I must tell you something very interesting. What happened, that once I asked the personal assistant to write a application, it was to go to somewhere. And after some time, I think after 1 hour, he came back with the draft. And I could figure out a couple of mistakes, both grammatical as well as the sentence construction. So I said, this is not what I was expecting. He said, okay, I will just give me a chance, I will come again. After 15 minutes, he came back with a very verbose letter. And let me tell you, I just looked at him and I said, from where you got it? Because I could sense even the head of the English department or our Vice-Chancellor cannot draft such a wonderful letter, right? So he said, I used chat GPT. So this is how the transformation is happening. And let me tell you, it's so powerful that other day I just asked them, put a kind of in a search engine, that can you give me the guitar tab for the Hotel California? And in no time, at a beginner's level, I also mentioned, and it gives it spitted out the guitar tabs for the beginner's level for the Hotel California. So probably the musicians and the music teachers, they have to be really very innovative, because now they cannot hide. Normally what we see, that they will not come up very openly to give you the early guitar tabs. If you are at a very early stage learner, they would say you have to practice. But now those whole things are gone. So good, I think. Thank you for this. And the same question I would be repeating to Professor, because this is something very elementary to understand, that what is the level of, the skill set which we are going to adopt, the new changes you are bringing in your university. So this question is to Professor Dr. Amer, Hamzah, Jantan. Same thing. What are the new skills and the reskilling you are doing for the faculty member in your education institution?
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. First and foremost, thank you to the organizer for inviting me and us to this wonderful summit. I would like to pick up from what my colleague said just now about the love for learning. You know, that is a very important foundation to have. You know, you must always have that passion for learning, that want to learn, knowing that there is so much to learn. There is this saying about no matter how much you know, the knowledge that you have may only be a drop of water in the ocean. So there is so much to know. So the fact that everything is at our fingertips nowadays, you know, whatever that you want to know, you can just Google it. Yesterday, someone mentioned about there is no need anymore to go to a library because the library is at your fingertips. I can agree to that, because when I did my PhD, my library was the internet. There was not even once I went to the library. because the library is there in front of me. So there is that need for us to instill in our students this desire to learn that there is so much knowledge out there, and to always remain humble regardless of who you are, and wanting to learn throughout your life. Going back to the skills, what do we need to teach to our students? One, of course, is communication. All right, they need, for them to be a global citizen, for them to be able to to be good together with others, they have to communicate well. So that has to be there among our students. The next skill that they may also want to have, that we hope to develop as well, is collaboration. They need to work together as a team. When they go out into the working world, they have to collaborate. What more now in the globalized world, you have to work together. You have maybe even there are times that you have to be part of a virtual team. The fact that this educational summit was organized is not even by meeting face to face. It's through LinkedIn, it's through WhatsApp. But the organizer managed to put together this wonderful conference. So you have to work together, to collaborate with one another. The fact that our gentleman on my left came all the way from Saudi Arabia, which I would never imagine. Today I'm sitting together with him on the same stage. The other skill that we may also want to develop among our students, even at the primary level, is critical thinking. How do you look at things? How do you look at issues? How do you look at problems? And how would you help solve these problems? So from the early age, we would need to develop this. Our teachers need to be equipped. Our lecturers need to be equipped. And then we have to always be in the know of what is happening around us. What are things happening in the Philippines, in Saudi Arabia, in China, in Russia, in wherever, in Europe, and we must know where we are. How do we fit in this big picture, being a global citizen, and what we can do? How do we make a difference to this world? Who am I in this whole big picture? And finally, one of the skills that also I believe we need to develop is creativity among our students. So they have to be creative. They have to be able to look at an issue from different angles. I remember the idea about the 3M, the yellow sticky notes. The fact that it happened because it was due to a failure. The glue that they invented did not work, but the inventor of that glue decided that it can be put to use for another. Then you have that post-it note, and then it became one of the successful products of 3M. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you. So I would be asking now Professor Engineer Mohammed about how the skill is being developed in your university, and especially I want to hear from you the challenges, the immediate challenges, the operational issues, or anything else you have encountered at your place, or you have some understanding about it, and how to overcome it. You take the other mic, I think it's not working. No, it's functional now, I think.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, I think I'll go with this one. In Saudi Arabia, I think the main driver for upskilling for the people is the government itself. Many initiatives was there. not only at the universities, but let me say we have an HRDF, which is Human Resource Development Fund, which is a program that mainly used upskilling all the citizens within Saudi Arabia. That one, they have a portal, and they also go to the market. If you are Saudi and there is a course that helps your business, you can go directly, enroll there, and they will pay whatever thing that if you get it certified, they will pay back the money for you. So they are encouraging people to go and to have skills, especially for this vocational education and those things. This is one part that the government is doing. The second part is we have many entities that looks for how to develop the business itself, how to develop the ecosystem itself. For example, we have the DGA, Digital Government Authority. This authority is directly looking at what each and every government entity is doing, what they achieve, and they give them the rules and the procedures, and also having I think named Qiyas, which is an audit done by each year. In that audit we try to look onto 7 different angles or 7 different components, including the technology, including the EA, including the upskilling, and we try to rank the government entities and put them into segments to see who is achieving what and who is what achieving and how are they proceeding in that thing. This is I think that this is the general programs. And if we go to the higher education, each university in Saudi Arabia should has an institute for research and studies, and that part is working as business. It make research. It should use the faculty members within that university for each university, including ours. And it works for business. It's a pure business entity that goes to the market, go to the tenders. If there are any tender, they join that tenders, using the power and using the people that we believe we have them within the universities. We already have the faculty members. They are well known. We have also the students that could help to run the projects, and many projects that have been delivered in Saudi Arabia have been done through those units within universities. The third thing that we do is we know that the students, after their graduating from secondary school and joining the universities, their skills level is not matching most of the times. So we came up with this preparation year. Each university, the first year for any student that join higher education should has 1 year, which is preparation. It is not related to his direct studies, but it is for upskilling the student. He get the language, English language. They're getting about research and development.
Wonderful.
How to go with it, this. They give all these soft skills. And believe it or not, the first year that we have this, as have been announced, that year number of patent within Saudi Arabia from the student in this first year was more than what we have achieved within the past 10 years, which is amazing. This is what we do to upskilling the people, starting from the beginning. This is instead of what we did. That yes, each university we have many awards that have been driven by the government. Many awards also from the private sector. We have also this King Faisal Award that most of the people that get King Faisal many times they have been awarded other awards worldwide. We believe that upskilling and looking to different ways. We are not going directly to say that This is an upskilling program, but you are giving the opportunity to develop yourself, and the business is there supporting you. And we also give you a channel instead of faculty members or students start to look outside the university to find work, or they resign or go to here and there. No, we give them the ability, we give them the capability to use their skills and to upskill themselves, and we give them that channel, which is pure business channel. And the numbers or the income that comes to the universities through these research and development units is very high.
Yeah. You have to wrap up in next 10 seconds. Quickly.
This is the point that I don't want to mention numbers because I have numbers. But
So wonderful. See, the best thing which I like that, that 1 year program where all the students, because they come from a very diverse background, wide range of people from different, say, the cultural sections, different economic background. So in order to convert that very heterogeneous group into a homogeneous one, of course, the plan which you shared, that is a wonderful, and of course, a lot of support system you mentioned in your country. Nothing like that. Now I'm going to have a kind of a rapid fire kind of a questions from you, just not more than a minute. So just to make up your mind here. So my question is that how deeply you train your students and sensitize them on the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals. So anything which you have quickly in your mind, not more than 1 minute, please. Each panelist. We can start with Professor Murali.
It's always challenging to start first because the rest can echo. Say, I agree with the earlier person. So I think when we look at this, because Sustainable Development Goals, what we do is we map it to the ESG. So in that context, the first thing that we did is to ask ourselves, to what extent are the curriculum actually embedding ESG principles, and what of the ESG principles is mapped to one or more of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. That's the first step. And secondly, what we have done, this is not too long ago, a couple of months ago, so we decided to look at, when we look at final year projects. So rather than looking at just final year projects that are just written in a 5-chapter using the standard methodologies of either quantitative, qualitative. So what we require the supervisors and the students to actually think about problem solving with the lens of how does it again impact the SDGs, yeah? Then that has to be mentioned outright upfront. In that sense, the purpose of this project is to address which aspect of the SDG from the FYP, because it's used for cutting across all of our programs and the curriculum. The FYP is a compulsory component for the students. So in essence, we want to sensitize them early on in addressing problems that require solution. Like in the case of Malaysia now is food scarcity, staple, yeah. 1 minute up, thank you.
Yes, I agree with Prof. Murali. But I think I agree, totally agree. But we believe everything needs to be done from at least at university level for educations. I still believe something needs to be top down. When I say top down, meaning we want to link to the 17th SDG or ESG, right? Top down meaning we will check with all the head of program, head of departments. All right, so we want them to identify what are the element and component in your program design, in the curriculum design, how they do the mapping. If something miss out, then they have to revise the curriculums. So only thing is in place in the system, then student will be benefited with this the knowledge and technology. Thank you.
Alyanna, what is your take on it? How you are sensitizing the students towards the 17 SDGs?
Yeah, for us, like what I said earlier, we have industry partners. So like what Engineer Mohammed have in there, we also upskill our students through Udemy, Courseware. So they take these courses, but there's not another year level into it. So they take it simultaneously within their semester. So each of our students have to take one course per sem, and it's not credited. Okay. So it's like that. And then the second one is that as much as possible, we look for competitions that our students can enter and can join. Whether they win or not, it's the experience that we are after for. So it's like
Wonderful,
that.
Raman. Thank you. Professor Jantan, what is your take?
I always believe it has to start with the student. The student must have that in him or her, the one to contribute to the betterment of the world. Yes, the university can have all these programs and whatever, but it has to come from them themselves. I just want to relate to two of my former students from Bangladesh who were with us at a public university in Malaysia. But the two of them created this Awareness 360 organization. And then the organization is now all over the world. So that is the kind of global citizen that we want to develop among our students. And then both of them have received the Princess Diana Award for their work towards the betterment of the world. That, to me, is the kind of thing that we want to create among our students. SDGs, there are so many things that we want to achieve. They just focus on just one, the water cleanliness, and then, they made a change to the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Engineer Mohammed, 1 minute with you.
Yeah, I'll make it quick. Those generation, the new generation, they already upskilled and they know many things there, but we need to put that thing in the right context. This is the thing.
Thank you. You have been very precise. So now, next question. Probably you can take 2 minutes each panelist. And this question is like, how evolved is your higher education institutions in terms of a technology in the classroom as well as the learner's home? So we can start with the, Engineer Mohammed.
Yeah, for us, I think in Saudi Arabia, most of the universities, we already have the e-learning center, and we have Saudi Digital Library. They all pure on e-learning. They are pure on the cloud, and all universities are on those systems. We already have around 2 million students enrolled on that one. For a matter of having the systems that support the learning or the ethics, the basics are there. The internet connectivity is considered in Saudi Arabia one of the top 10 in the world. So we have, I think, no issue in that thing.
Wonderful.
The challenge is about the content that you put there, and you put it in the right way. This is the only challenge that I see.
Thank you. Professor Hamzah, Jantan?
I believe the environment is there. I mean, the connectivity is there. But then again, it's the students whether they want to take the opportunity to upskill themselves, to develop themselves, to become.
So could you be a little more specific? How in a classroom environment has changed over the period of time?
Yeah, for example, during COVID-19, we had, we gave them an option not to be in class. Now we have the hybrid environment.
Okay.
So they can choose whether they want to come to class or they want to stay at home but still be in class. In terms of the library, we keep upgrading the library, giving them access to the books, to the journals, to the many publications that they may want to use to refer to prepare their assignments, their thesis, and so on.
Alyanna, your view?
For us in the Philippines, you keep on saying that internet is not a problem. That's not the same case in the Philippines.
Okay.
So I would like to share that our school is a network of schools with 60 plus branches nationwide. And not all branch is the same with the others. One branch, those that are in the Metro Manila, in the Central Business District, it's very fast. But then we have far-flung areas where there is no connectivity. And our school is a standardized one. We have a head office, that's where I am, where the content that we share should be used in all the networks. So as a content developer, we have to think, if I will put this, wherein the students will have to do this in a synchronous class online, how will the others that are in different areas with no connectivity, how will they be at par with those that are in the Metro Manila? So that is our problem. We have the ELMS, the Learning Management System, we have everything, but then for those that are with no connectivity, that is our challenge. We have to convert something into a module. Okay, if your place is not really affected by COVID, there are low cases you can do online, or you can do face-to-face most of the time. So it's like that.
Good. Yeah, Professor Goibok.
Yeah. Okay. Of course, we have to say that thanks to COVID-19's pandemic, okay, so make all the digitalizations, e-learning become possible. Yeah, of course, there are many challenges, including the internet connectivities, the background of the students, especially for Utah, we are a private university. Okay, many of our students are from the middle income family. So that's why we have to make sure all the facility, okay, so we can provide. And for the last 3 years, we can see that we overcome all these things, and thanks to our governments, we start to have more internet connectivity, the Wi-Fi, everything is happening. So now I can say that now we are quite ready, okay, and when it comes to the hybrid teaching, e-learning,
Yes.
I always say that now our faculty member, everyone is a YouTuber. Okay, they can conduct the class online freely and then share a lot of the very nice story in front of the computer monitor. And also we work closely with many of the LMC, MS platform like the course networking. So our staff start to develop their own MOOC. So of course we're going to have some reward. Okay, so when we have the MOOC courses, not only for our students, we also open to the public. If there are any public register for the MOOC, they can have some side incomes. So we believe the reward system. And student now is more flexible. They are more flexible. They don't want to go to the classroom physically. They want to have some choice. They want to have the options and can online. Of course, the challenging part is still come to the assessment part. Because as Prof mentioned, the ChatGPT,
There is a question for that.
everyone can give a good answer, right? So assessment is a challenging, but I believe with all the technology, with the awareness of the faculty member, we can always overcome this one. Thank you.
Thank you. Professor Murali.
Thanks, Prof. I think for us, in terms of digital transformation, I wish I can outsource the answer to my COOs in the audience, but never mind, I'll take it. We look at it in terms of several pillars. So from a teaching and learning perspective, we have Digital Learning Hub, an entity established predominantly to ensure that not only students but staff as well are fully ready to embrace technology and teaching with technology, including things like all my colleagues have talked about: online learning, hybrid learning, flexible classes, flipped learning. So all that's one. And from an academic operations perspective, I believe, do not quote me on this, don't have research data, we're probably the first university in Malaysia, probably even in this region, to run exam fully online.
Wonderful.
Because we decided to make that commitment to reduce our utilization of papers for classroom examination. And I think as part of our commitment to the environment, so we made that bold decision, let's try this, it's working well, and it's something that we are very proud of, and we keep improving as we go. So it's fully an online exam, but in physical presence, which means students bring their devices, it's in a controlled environment, working with our partners, and that's working really well. The third thing is in terms of digital technology and transformation, we're very proud of our research labs and also labs for students to utilize. And I think in Southeast Asia, perhaps even in Asia, we've been awarded the best cybersecurity curriculum provider in the country. And that's not by us, but by industry as well, by the ministry. And to support that, we have built, I think over the last few years, a highly utilized and very powerful lab called Cyber Range. So that's where students do things like simulation with cyber terrorism and so on. So in essence, it cuts across different pillars: teaching, learning, academic operations, people management, and other aspects of the institution.
Wonderful. So I must also reflect on this, that in India, again, the same problem what you said in the Philippines, that internet connectivity at the institutional level is wonderful, but at the far-flung areas, it is not so strong. So the bandwidth is not there. Although a lot of, I would say, the turf has been covered, and simulation and the gamification. Now the For example, in say all the management programs, the postgraduate, say the capstone project has become an important part. So we have done. You mentioned that, right, sir? So one more question. Probably I would try to see that again. You can quickly reflect on it. That what the processes you have built in your institutions for tracking, benchmarking, and delivering education for meeting tomorrow's challenge. So is there any certain checks and balances in terms of, say, adoption of new technology also? Or the processes are there in place or not? For example, you mentioned about the online exams, right? It's a proctored one, I'm very sure, something like this. So anything you want to reflect on it? Any processes and the benchmark which you have kept, or say how you track the delivery mechanism, something?
Maybe I can start us. For our for our college, we are ISO certified actually. So any process or any procedure that we want to implement, it has to be research. It has to be banked on data and analysis. So what we do is we just really to attend conference and summits like this, and then if there are really good things that you want to take on, I pitch in, or whoever attends, we pitch in to our president, and then they'll say, okay, let's try that. And then after that, we have a date, we gather the data and then say, oh, it didn't work. Oh, this one is good, we can keep on doing it. So it's really more like that. So that's our check and balance. We really try it. If we think it, and then if it fits our organization, that's good. We are not afraid to try, because like what in the keynote speaker yesterday, he said that the universities are aware of the issues, but then not everyone is willing to change. The change is increment. But if you really want to have a great effect to our students, it should be a boom. It should be a big change. So my challenge for everyone here is to really be open-minded. Whatever that you will learn, even if you think it's not good, you have to try it in your organization, and then just let the data speak for itself. So yeah.
Wonderful. Any other panelists want to reflect on it? Or there's another question in queue. Please.
What I want to add here is two things. We did the same as Dr. Murali said. We have the exams. It's electronic exams, but in prisons and the campuses. What we did at SEU exactly, we have two strategies. One is business strategy that talks about the journey of the employees and development the work and also the curriculums and what is the university looking for. That covers around 5 years. And out of that, we came up with a digital strategy. And within that digital strategy, we benchmark with 70 university worldwide. And we came up with our plan that we redesigned the study journey, the employees journey, and the faculty journey within the university. And we selected 45 different use cases using ethics within the education. And we come up with the enablers for that one. We believe that not only ethics, you should have them, but you have also to go to the infrastructure, to cyber security, to the business, and to upskilling the people you have. We already have around 20 different projects. Most of them not to the ethics. Most of them is how to revamp the infrastructure, how to revamp the business you have, and with spendings for 3 years, we just reaching around 1 billion real just to revamp this within SEU only. And SEU considered a small university. We already have around 47,000 students. But compare it to the other universities. But to go with ethics, you should have the people well educated, and also the infrastructure should be carrying and capable to carry all these use cases.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you want to add to this, please?
From a university point of view, it's always about student numbers. So if you want student numbers, whatever that you are doing must be among the best in the market, because you want the students to come to you. So whatever your practices are you there among the best players in the market? If you are not up to the mark, if you don't benchmark against your competitors, you will be left behind. So that is always I believe the consideration of universities, especially private universities. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you. So this is going to be a last question, and I expect everyone is going to reply to this. So keeping in mind the level of a globalization that is happening and workforce places, in fact, they're fast becoming very multicultural, say multilinguistic also many a times. So how we are sensitizing our students? Are we consciously training them to work in a very multicultural environment, or probably they are on their own on this very aspect? So what your higher education institutions are doing in terms of preparing a workforce which is good enough, prepared enough to work in any kind of an environment? Because what I say to my students that probably majority of them, they are going to work in different part of the world in next say 3 to 4 years. So are we really making them say prepared for it or not? So how your universities are preparing students on this very aspect? 2 minutes.
Yeah, I just want to start by saying that we have students from more than 130 countries that are represented on campus. Of course, in different enrollment numbers from these different countries. So there are two ways in which we sort of prepare them in working in a multicultural environment. Firstly, when we put them into groups to actually work on more formal assessments and so on, we try and to a level best ensure that the Malaysians do not work with only Malaysians. So it's a mix of different cultures who are working together on formal things. The other aspect that is really popular amongst our students is self-organized events that runs on a regular basis. Let me just give you one example. Several nights ago, we had this initiative called an Island Night. So students from 5 main islands around the world, Sri Lanka, Mauritius, Maldives, I forget the other two, forgive me my memory. So they organized themselves and they did a 3-hour performance. So dance, songs, showcasing the country's culture. So in that whole process, these 5 countries were represented, showcasing their culture, what their belief systems are, their value systems. And they were preparing for almost 2.5 months, right? I was informed. And in that whole process, they are really learning from one another. And a couple of Malaysians managed to slide in there as well to become crew and so on. So I think that's the power. And for students, and I'll end in about 30 seconds, I think students is not only working in formal setting, the informal settings is the one where they're really learning on how to embrace each other, the connectivity, because after that, and hopefully they get married along the process and cross-fertilize for the world. I'll stop there. Thank you, Prof.
Again, maybe it's my background's from Utah. I'm in charge for internationalization and academic developments. Yeah, so one of the keywords is the internationalizations. Yeah, so I'm in charge for the collaborations all over the world. Currently, Utah, we have signed MOU partner and MOU partner around 620. So with this, all the connection networkings, so we can really embed it into our curriculums to make sure our students can be benefited with all our activity. First thing is all our programs, including art and social science, not only for engineering, they have to undergo minimums of 12 weeks of the industry training. Yeah, so meaning our students have to spend at least 3 to 4 months in their course of study at Utah, okay, so that they can have exposure, not only to the industry, but also to the MNC company. They have the chances. And the second thing is I'm also in charge for the student mobility program with all the MOU partner. In fact, we very strong encourage our students can go outbound, at least not only for study tour for a few weeks, but also for the whole semester with our partner. They can do the career transfer.
Wonderful.
Before pandemic in 2019, okay, so we managed to send outbound around 1,200 students go overseas. At the same time, we received 1,200 inbound.
Okay.
Yeah, but of course, when it comes to 2020, 2021, becomes 0. Okay, but we have the virtual student activity. Start from this year, my president set the new KPI. Okay, So we all, our top management are from engineering background. We trained by the system. We have the KPI. But we believe in the KPI, so we'll be more focused. So this year, my president said the target for us is 850.
Okay.
Everything seems back to the normal. All right. So we are happy to say that until now, October, we managed to send 600 plus outbound. At the same time, receive 600. So I believe next year, my president will say 1,000. Yeah. So we believe with this KPI, and then all the faculty members start to approach our counterpart to make our program to do the matching. Then we can start to encourage our students to go outbound at least for a few weeks to one semester. Then they can do the credit transfer. In fact, we also secure quite a number of the sponsors.
Okay.
Okay, so if a student is the first time join our outbound program, they can ask for this funding. At least can support their flight ticket. Yeah, so this is how we can meet our KPI. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. Alyanna, what is your take on it?
For our college, we are actually popular with our brand market. We call it the E2E, Enrollment to Employment System. So this enrollment to employment is we strengthen our alumni placement and linkages. We actually have 80% of our graduates will always land a job within the first 6 months that they graduate. Because of that, we always trace our graduates, our alumni. And then this alumni, as a way of giving back, because they get hired within the first 6 months, they will be a sponsor to a new graduate. That these graduates can actually do their on-the-job training in wherever that alumni is. So it's like a kindness community. So because we were able to get you an employment within this span of months, then because we were able to instill the giving back to community skill to our students, that's what they do.
Wonderful. Thank you. Professor Jantan?
In our case, we provide opportunities for our students to come back to the university to contribute. Like what you said, we work together with them. We have the alumni association where they can return and give back to the university. We also have programs. One of the programs that we have is the Watel program, where students can decide where they want to be in a particular semester anywhere in the world. So we have that option for our students to have that international exposure in whichever country that they want to go, provided it's part of the Watel hospitality program. We do have that opportunity.
Thank you. Engineer Mohammed?
Thank you very much. The same as Alyanna said, that the main factor for us at SEU is how soon our student or our graduate student will get hired in the market. So at SEU, we offer 4 programs depending on the market needs. This is the first thing. Second thing, that at SEU for several years, we was number 1 on the employment ranking or index in Saudi Arabia. Last year, we are the second university, which means at the same scale, within 6 months, how soon our graduate students get hired. The thing is that for me as a student and for me as a parent, I am sending my kid or my child or my daughter to the university, and I'm investing a time, and sometimes, many times, I'm investing money also on that thing. If it is going to private sector, to private university, what I am looking for is through this investment, I am looking to how soon he will be get hired after he graduated. This is the main thing, from the side of the student and also from the side of the parents. They are not looking to the environment, whatever tool that we have there. They will have that question after my son is graduated or after my daughter is graduated, when she will be hired and she will start her life after university. And this is the main factor that we should look at. I know that many times the things that we are doing within the universities or within the ecosystem of the education, some of them, they are our dreams. We want the environment to look like this. We want to add this and that. But the thing that in the head of the student is, how soon I could graduate with no problems, and how soon could I get a job, and I joined that one. And this should be the main factor that we look for. And if we look at that thing exactly, we could reshape our education depending on that thing.
Thank you. So with this, we have come to an end to this panel discussion, and very heartening to see that all the panelists and whichever the education institutions they are say belonging to, they are conscious towards the 21st century competencies, and they are working towards that. And some of the quick summary, I would say that Alyanna mentioned that well. Perhaps the good industry connect is keeping you aware exactly what is expected by the say stakeholders, especially the industry, and how you must align with them. And this is very much important also because we all understand that education institutions, they are nothing else but a social construct. They are the social agent, and they must meet the expectation of the larger society, and that includes the industry also. And we must align ourselves and make sure that our graduates, they are meeting the industry requirement, and they are going to have a very successful future ahead. So wonderful thoughts, and I just pressed you people for the time. My apologies for that, but I wanted to cover maximum questions. So once again, my hearty thanks to you.